Okay, I'm gonna record the rest of this. All right, so like I said, kind of just a lot of vocabulary to be familiar with up there on the top. Make sure you understand the idea of the FICA taxes. You should know Social Security is at that 6.2%, that Medicare is at that 1.45%. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the forms then. Where am I? Yep, let's talk about these forms. You need to be familiar with some of the different tax forms. So a W-4, you fill this out when you first start your job. You can go back and adjust this from year to year or as things change. You basically tell them, you fill out some information that tells them, okay, you're single or you're married, you have a bunch of dependents. So based on how many dependents you have, based on what you think your filing status is going to be, you're basically asking them or telling them, here's approximately how much money I want you to be taking out of my paychecks for me. So there's kind of a formula that they use to kind of help decide on that. So that's what you can kind of go, and like I said, you can, from year to year, you can go and adjust that if your taxes are a little bit wonky at the end, okay? That's the W-4 form. So the 1099 it's a form you use or that you fill out regarding any kind of miscellaneous income that you have. So this can be a whole bunch of different things. This could be money that you receive, interest that you receive from different accounts. Like if somebody's receiving alimony, that goes on to the form 1099. If you receive dividends from stocks, that type of thing. Kind of some other examples, if you have a side gig where you're tutoring somebody and you're getting paid for something like that, anything like that. I'm thinking of examples that I'm familiar with, so that's why it's kind of more teacher-based. If you play in a band and you're getting paid for that type of thing, you would use this form 1099. So any of those extra kind of things that you do on the side where you're making a little bit of extra money, that gets filled in on that form 1099. The W-2 form this is a yearly form that you get typically in January. It shows you what was withheld or paid for you already, basically, for the prior year. So like we're about to finish, everybody's got to have their taxes in by April 15th. We're paying the taxes for 2023, right? We pay for last year, we're not paying for this year. So the W-2 form, there's more to it than that, but the main thing about the W-2 form is just to know, it's telling you, it's a breakdown of how much money was withheld from your paycheck to help pay for your taxes, how much you earned, how much you paid towards Social Security, how much you paid towards Medicare, that type of thing, okay? And then last, the form 1040 is kind of the basic tax return form that most people fill out. For someone like you all, if you have a part-time job right now, high school or usually into college, if you have a part-time job, you're going to be able to fill out a 1040 EZ is what it's called. Literally, it's like one page, and it just kind of talks you through the process. I meant to try to see if I could kind of print some forms just so that you could kind of see what those look like. There's some stuff in here, but not a whole lot in terms of like the 1040 EZ and how that looks and stuff. I'm going to try to pull that out for you guys so you can see. But that's the form that you use to fill out, to figure out, okay, this is how much I owe in taxes, and then you have to figure out, okay, based on how much I owe, do I owe more money, or am I going to get a tax refund because I ended up having more withheld than what I should have? So some people get money paid back to them because they paid too much in taxes, they had too much taken out of their paycheck, and others owe more money because they didn't have enough taken out. Okay? All right, questions, comments, thoughts on any of that? Okay, so let's talk through some examples of some stuff you're gonna see in this particular section. All right, so Lorna's bi-weekly pay stub, that means every 2 weeks, shows that she paid $1,001.47 in federal taxes, $280.89 in state taxes. Assuming that her salary and deductions remain the same throughout the year, how much will be taken out of her total annual gross salary for federal and state taxes? So in this particular case, what this is saying is we're gonna take these two amounts plus the 280.89. We're taking those two amounts, and that amount, those are the amounts every 2 weeks that are taken out. So if you think about it, that means we would have to multiply by 26, right? There's 52 weeks in a year, so if you divide by 2, that's 26. Okay, I'm gonna kind of highlight that just to help you think about why we're doing 26. All right, and that amount ends up being $33,341.36. Okay. Okay, Randy works for blank corporation, earns annual salary of this amount, and is paid monthly. Each pay period, the 6.2% for FICA, for Social Security, for Medicare, federal withholding, state withholding, retirement, disability. So there's all of those deductions that are getting taken from the paycheck. So what's the monthly gross pay? And so that means we are gonna take our 57,285.50, and we're just dividing that by 12, right? So that's not dealing with all of those deductions. So we're gonna have 47.73 So that's just taking the total and dividing that by 12. That's his salary, divide by 12, that's what his monthly gross is. What it's total withholding per paycheck. Okay, so per paycheck, we need to think about kind of using this then as our guide to kind of help us with doing our figuring, right? Okay, so we're gonna have our